Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here for Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. Oh, it's fantasy football. Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates and all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We're a little bit about three months or so shy away from the NFL opener, and it's never too late to start your fantasy football breakdowns. It's never too late to see who you want to pick and projections about who's going to be there for your big mock draft. I know you're excited and you have a lot of your friends around and your family and you play with your pool of friends and work colleagues and stuff, but this is going to give you my top 10 of who you should draft first. I'm going to give you the breakdowns, the insights, and what I think is going to happen. And I think that essentially this is going to help you draft better. We're going to start at number 10. Number 10 is always a tough one because you got to kind of round out your top 10. You got to kind of round out who's going to potentially be there. And I think this is a great pickup for your top 10. I'm going to go with the likes of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is now joining the Philadelphia Eagles team with a good offensive line. And you got to think they have AJ on one side, and then you do have essentially his running mate on the other side. These are two 1,000-yard receivers. There's going to be ample opportunity for him to run the football against non-8 box defenses. So a lot of people can gear up in the box, but you're going to ask yourself, are you going to let Devontae on one side and AJ on the other side steer you away from potentially stopping the run? Nah, not really. I think Saquon Barkley benefits from not only wider running holes and wider running angles, and defenses can no longer just focus just on him anymore. So it's going to be a breath of fresh air for him. This is going to be big for him. And I think that essentially this is going to help them score more in fantasy. Number 9, Ja'Marr Chase with the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of people are talking about T. Higgins and his contract. A lot of people are talking about all the things that's not going on in with the Bengals and things like that. But at this point in time, Ja'Marr Chase is still the focal point of the offense. No matter what goes on, if Mixon leaves and goes to the Texans, no matter what goes on, if Higgins is there or not, Ja'Marr Chase is going to get the ball. One thing about Joe Burrow, he's going to force feed Ja'Marr Chase. He's going to make sure his guy is getting the catches and the touchdowns. When you get down to the red zone, he's going to be a big play target. When you're going deep, it's a big play target. Ja'Marr Chase has earned the respect, and he's known for his targeting ability to bring in the catch. When he's double-teamed, triple-teamed, or when you don't think he's going to score, he gets the ball, takes it to the house. That's why he's at number 9. Coming in at number 8, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a bad post part of the season last year, but I think that him and Jalen Hurts are on the same page now. I think that sometimes you have diversion through the media. Sometimes you have things that go on in the locker room. Once you squash those things, it lends itself for a better work relationship. I think that the ship has sailed on them, beefing and they've hashed it out. So essentially you're seeing them practice. You're seeing them talk. You're seeing them get back to where they used to be. That bodes well for a great relationship, a quarterback and a wide receiver. Him and Jalen Hurts get along. He's going to have a great season. That's why he's at number 8. Coming in number 7, this guy's got his money. The highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. He's going to ball out. He's going to do it. He's going to do big things. JJ's going to get him the ball. He's got Addison on the other side, Hockenson at the tight end. He's going to have Jones at running back. They've retooled this offense, and now Justin Jefferson is going to shine. He doesn't have to do it by himself, and that's what's going to make the threat of him having another 1,000-yard season actually happen. He's essentially going to do what he needs to do. He's going to bust his butt, work in the offseason. Hopefully he stays healthy, knock on wood. But I think with the Minnesota Vikings, with him healthy in training camp, it just bodes well for the success for the team. Coming in number 6, this is a new guy to the top 10. This is a new guy. We normally don't see Detroit Lions on this list, but this guy has made the list because not only has he earned it, his play on the field and Jared Goff trust him, Amon St. Brown. When you think about what he's been able to do in just a couple of years with the organization, he's gotten paid. He essentially has been the safety net for a couple of different quarterbacks. So you think at this point, you saw what he did in college. You saw what he does in the NFL. This is going to continuously go forward and forward and forward. I think he's the leader of the Detroit Lions offense when you're thinking about wide receivers. The wide receiver room is thick as far as having multiple players in there that have talent, that have speed, but he's the guy that puts everything together and puts it on paper and also plays it out on Sunday. I think that he's going to be a big threat all season long. You've seen his stats. He's been a 1,000-yard receiver, and he's going to essentially push Jared Goff to go even further with his stats. So I think that he's going to be a big play target all year, and he's going to be a big help for your fantasy. Coming in number 5, praying that Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt. This kid, Breece Hall, is going to have a great season. If he can stay healthy and do what he needs to do, this is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver, and you could potentially see a 1,000-yard rusher, and potentially see a 1,000-yard receiver. Aaron Rodgers loves running backs that have soft hands and can catch the ball out the backfield. Not only can he run, he can block well. That means he's going to be on the field for third down for a lot of pass plays, for a lot of pass protection where he can go out and block, and all of a sudden he's out from the backfield, out in the flats, and he's catching passes. Or he's either running the football on third down, on third and short, getting the touchdowns, getting the big plays that you want in fantasy. Breece Hall is a guy that you need to have in the first round, in the first 10 picks, because he's going to be active when it comes to touchdowns and big plays. Coming in at number 4, this guy was underutilized. Arthur Smith did not know how to use him. He kept him in the bubble wrap. He didn't really use him when he had him with the Atlanta Falcons. And that is Bijan Robinson. The kid is special out of the backfield. We've already started to see him in OTAs with his magic. The ability to catch the ball out the backfield is very prevalent here. He's one of the guys that you need to work on having in your lineup, because not only is he playing first down, second down, but also third down. He is practicing with the wide receivers. You see him lining up, working on his route running. You see him working on the fire drills where the running backs are running out the backfield quickly, looking for the pass on the fire drills when they're calling for the blitzes. You see him working with Kirk Cousins and Penix at practice, staying later, coming in early. He's doing the little things that you want your running backs to do. That's going to bode well for fantasy, because he's no longer sharing all those snaps. He's going to be on the field for most of those snaps. You got Raheem Morris that has common sense. That's going to have him in the lineup. Coming in number 3, this guy is probably going to be playing from behind a lot. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be playing from behind a lot. Let's just say that this is. I just believe that Dallas is going to have a bad season, but he's going to have a great season. I think CeeDee Lamb, when he finally gets on the field, is going to have a great season. The ability that Dak has to throw the team out the game is the same ability that he has to throw them in the game. A lot of the empty calories that he got last year and a lot of the empty yards were when Dallas was down. You're having 9 catches, 150 yards because you're down. The defenses are playing cover 2, and they're just not letting you get past. They're letting you get 18 yards of play, so CeeDee Lamb is going to benefit. He's got big playability when the game is on the line, but sometimes his stats are stuffed because Dak is down by so much, and they're either coming back or they're throwing the ball exclusively in the second half. That's what bodes well for CeeDee Lamb in a lot of cases. Last year, I saw him win so many games for people in fantasy, and his team was getting blown out. And I was just like, what the hell is going on here? But it's CeeDee's ability to catch the ball. And that's why he's a top 10 pick. Coming in number 2, you know who this guy is. When they get loose in Miami, they get loose. When I tell you him and Jalen Waddle, they are literally track stars. You added Odell Beckham to the team, so that's another mouth that you have to feed. But at the same time, Tua is happy because that mouth to feed is going to open up a lot of holes for Tyreek Hill. You can no longer just, when you got all 3 of these guys on the field, you can't just double team one. You have to play it straight up, and you essentially lose coverage on somebody. Tyreek Hill oftentimes loses the best defender because he's too fast. He literally is a Lamborghini running all over the place, and they can't stop him. So the only thing that we've seen that can stop Tyreek Hill is the cold weather, and if they're winning in Miami, they're staying in Miami for the playoffs. That bodes well for Tyreek Hill to play well. I think he wants to beat Calvin Johnson's record. Last year he came close, not almost. He almost got there. But even with a couple of games missed from injury, he still was playing phenomenal. He still had a great number. And I think that's going to be great for him moving forward because he has another goal he can meet. And lastly, this guy is the cover boy of Madden. He literally is winning games every week in different ways, no matter if he's throwing touchdowns, running touchdowns, catching touchdowns. This kid is phenomenal. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in football. I said it. He needs to be the number one overall draft pick. If you see him available with all the weapons that they have with Kittle, with Ayuk, with Samuel, with so many different weapons that they have on, he's the guy that shines the brightest. The coaching staff trusts him the best. When it comes to the goal line, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. He is the guy that can make the game-breaking plays, but also when you're at the line of scrimmage early, they're looking to play action to get the ball to him. No matter if they're pitching it out to him, throwing it out to him, or letting them run in for a touchdown, I feel like Christian is going to have a big year for touchdowns and also yards and catching the football out the backfield. So I want him to get drafted. I feel like he is going to get drafted for the number one overall for a lot. But this is your fantasy guide for your top 10. If you have questions, feel free to put your questions in the comment section about who you should draft, what round you should go in. Is it too early, too late? definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for the top 10 and plus more of players who you should draft. If you want to compare two players up to each other, put it in the comment section. If you want to think, hey, is this too early to draft a quarterback? Put it in the comment section. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus, and we'll see you in the very next video.